How you guys doing? Josh here with Ohio Fish Rescue. We are on some of the last nice days of the season, so we are trying to get as much of this pond work done as possible. I have a few buddies coming over today to help me with this rock work. So let's go ahead and explain to you what we're going to do today.
There's Clinton. What's up, brother? We got Josh actually in this cold water. Look at that. So now he's putting in these rocks here. Let me, this is what looked like it was down low. Now this will basically be the water level that we've got going on here. Josh, you want to point out what you've done so far?
Give me the camera.
Okay.
All right. So as you're looking at this rock here, you can see there's this little white jet sticking out here. There's one back in here. There's one back in here. And there's one hidden back there. I've been taking this rock and basically encapsulating it. We already filled it in with pea gravel to lock in the jets. And so nothing moves behind the rocks. We had to move these rocks out 4 inches and put the jets behind here. You don't want no pressure on these jets that you've seen Ed the Pond Professor install, because when it's cold it can be brittle, it can crack. So if the ground shifts and it moves, you don't want these rocks falling back and potentially cracking your pipe. That would be all bad. So we went ahead and filled it with pea gravel here, and now we're coming back with this capping stone, locking it in, making it look natural. So I did these 3 rocks, and we're gonna finish here,
bringing it up to level of the liner, so
correct.
We can cut the liner.
Now if you look all the way across here, let me walk around. Good thing we have this little ledge here.
That's why we made that ledge.
Some places get deeper, some don't. You can see this one's here up to my knees. So this is about 30 inches deep or so. But you can see there's rocks already locked in here. We are bringing it up across the back. When we find certain rocks that fit a certain place, we put them into position. Now back here, you can see this is all pretty much complete. This corner is looking awesome. We had to bring in a bunch of rock and basically finish off these skimmers, because when Ed left, there was no rock around these skimmers. This one here is actually getting up to be above my knees, so it's a lot deeper in this back corner. But right here, there's basically a base rock that's laying on the bottom, and then 2 rocks that are locked into each side, and it basically encapsulates the skimmer. So the skimmer's hidden, the fish can actually go in there. So we actually had a tip from Ed to not have your fish get trapped in the skimmers, which we will share here shortly on the skimmer that's actually running. But what this does, once we have this cap on, you basically hide that big ugly black skimmer box from being an eyesore. Over here we did the same thing. We still have to put the cover on, but now what we were talking about, you see that this is a big area where fish can swim in. We've had it happen in the front pond, and fish get in here, and because of this floating door, they get in here, they get trapped, and they cannot get back out, which results in a sad situation. So what Ed told us to do was actually remove this floating plate. If the fish move in because they like playing in the current here of the skimmer, they'll actually swim in, they won't find nothing to do in there, and they'll swim back out. Eventually the fish are going to learn not to swim in there, but that does take time. But here you guys can see the skimmer is working, pulling out bunches and bunches of leaves. I clean this out daily, and it is a chore. But the rocks are locked in all the way across here. So now the next move is to basically backfill up to the liner, and then you can add plants, and this looks like the pond basically just stops and terminates at the top of the rock. Okay, so here I am back in the pond. It is about 48 degrees outside, so the water's cooling down. It's very cold outside, but luckily someone had sent these awesome waders in the mail from my dad. They kind of look like a dress on me, but they keep me warm and dry, so I'm using them. So whoever sent those, thank you. But now I need to get me a pair, because this is awesome. I'm in this water splashing around. It's cold. My feet are dry. This is like a luxury to me. Oh my goodness. But looking at what we're doing here. See, right here, all these rocks are locked in. Same thing with over there by the skimmer. We are starting to go back and lock in these places. So everywhere you see the liner exposed, is not going to be exposed. And then when we backfill, you won't see the liner whatsoever. We went ahead and brought in all of these rocks. We carried them around from the side, used my trusted four-wheeler over here, and now I am in this pond looking for a spot to fill. We grab a rock we think would fit, lock it in. Like this one here, it just so happened to fit perfectly in that V. Awesome fit. Now we move on. I'm gonna work my way all the way around the pond. We've got pieces and spots that, you know, rocks wouldn't fit. We found a spot for it to fit, and we've been working our way around. So we're gonna get this done, and I will show you guys progression as it happens. I lost my camera guy, so I can't get the filming happening as it's doing. So hopefully that's something we can make better for you guys in the future. We got our little mascot over here. He's wearing the OFR t-shirt. Okay, look at this. See, this whole line is pretty much done here. Now what we're doing, you guys were saying something about this liner before, but our plan is to cut it back, and then we're gonna fill dirt in up until the rocks. So that's why we came back and filled in with additional rocks here, each and every gap. We still got a small gap here and here, but we wanted to wait until the end so we can get the majority of the gaps filled, and then any rocks left over we can bust up and use a little tiny one to fill in there and here. And then when you backfill up into it, you're gonna basically fold this liner over and then backfill up into it, and then use like gravel and backfill up to the rocks all the way around. So your liner is protected from the UV and the sun and any drying and cracking. The object is to make sure your liner is covered all the way around. It might not be happening right now, but we are working towards it, guys. Gotta always have faith. But this pond is coming together. It is, like I said, 48 degrees outside right now. Got the help of Clinton and his trusted handy dandy dog. We've got Mr. Metalhead over here. And we've got some more people supposed to be on their way, but they're not showing up yet. But we've got pretty much half this rock already moved in. So this is looking good. We are now working on this back wall. You can see we filled in that gap. We filled in some gaps over there and there. We are working around the pond. We're using the big rocks first, wherever we can, and then finding spots for the rest. Like playing Tetris with heavy rocks on a cold day. Okay, we worked all day yesterday placing some of this rock. We are not done, but we are back at it day 2. It is 54 degrees today on a Sunday evening. Got my buddy Nate back over here, and of course Janet come over to help us out. But you guys can see all these rocks we added to this ledge all the way around. Looks a lot better, especially that back side. That whole left side there looks way better, and then this top side here. We still have to go back, and we're gonna cut this liner about 6 inches away all the way around, and then backfill with gravel so none of this liner is exposed. But now at least you have somewhere for the gravel to backfill to and not fall down into the pond. So you can see that all the way around here. We still have to work on this back side, which that's what we will be doing today, and then we are calling it quits. So you can see right here, the liner comes up and ends. There's not a whole lot of extra. So what we've been doing is we've been going around, I'm sorry, and capping it just like this. So we're gonna continue this all the way down, so you don't see none of this liner here, and there's actually rocks capping it all the way down, so none of this liner is being beamed on by the marvelous sun. So we don't have no UV degradation of the liner over years. Even though it's above the water line, it really shouldn't matter. But for aesthetics, it's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing getting something like this than just having stones come up and a liner stop and rocks coming up to it. Even though it'd probably work, I like this much better. You can see all the stones we still have to work with, and it's a lot of them. But what I also did yesterday was, you see this skimmer right here, we got rocks to cap it, and this one right here. I will show you an angle from up on top the deck, but we found rocks that fit perfectly and capped over it, so now the skimmer boxes are hidden, and now it just looks like it's a hole in the rock. So that blends in much better. And you can see right here, that cap goes down and it just looks like a rock hole where the leaves just go in and get sucked into the skimmer box. So that's pretty awesome. I just have to foam this stuff in. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get a warm enough day to be able to foam them in place. That might be something I have to do next year, which kind of sucks, but we shall see. That whole side there is pretty much done. I can bring rocks and dirt up to it and eradicate that wall. Now you guys can see that back wall looks a lot better through there. There was a lot of holes. You can see them 2 rocks, that one. Basically all around there where you see these rocks filled in is what we did yesterday. So let's see how today turns out, and let's get this pond done for the season. I know we've said that before, but we keep finding more things to do, and we say screw it, let's get it done before it gets too cold. You can see the leaves right there kind of sit in that corner because the pumps aren't on, pushing them away, and there's nothing to guide the water here to the skimmer boxes. But it's doing pretty well for just having the 1 skimmer running right now and just the direction of flow. So I'd say we're doing pretty good. Boy, I tell you, this pond is looking sweet. But look at that. Now this is a deck view of the ledge of the pond all the way around. Look at those skimmers right there. You see how I pointed out them rocks? You can't see the skimmer box, but you just see a hole there. Same thing with that one. Although it's too cold to foam, we're gonna have to do that in the springtime, unless we get lucky and we get another day that's, you know, above 60 degrees or so, which I'm not sure is going to happen, and the rocks are dry, so that means no rain and 60 degrees. So I don't know if that's gonna happen this year. So most likely springtime for that, but look at this outside edge. Now it just looks like a rock pond all the way in. Can't believe we got this done. That was a lot of rock. That was another 100 boulders. And we kind of redid this stream just a little bit. You can see there's some other rocks sticking up, poking out. I moved some. So that makes this stream look just a little bit better as well. So we took some of the flat ones that were submerged, used them out there to cap, and then we brought some of these big bulky ones up here in the stream and used them to stick out the water. So now this looks better. Every day that goes on, this pond is looking better and better. Now, I don't know how much more we can do before the snow hits, so this might be the last video. I know I keep saying that, guys, but we keep finding more things to do, and I don't think you guys mind this awesome content. But we have one last awesome thing to share with you guys, and it'll be coming up in just a sec. Okay, before we get and show you guys what I have planned for you, here's that right side. You can see the rock ledge looking awesome. This back corner was beefed up a little bit, and then you can see all the changes looking on the outside. So now we can just bring gravel up to this rock, which I can probably do before snow hits, so that might be another video. But you can see we had a hard time finding places for all these rocks to fit. Now mind you, we didn't do so much on this side because we have that flagstone patio we're gonna go and bring up to here. So we might just do, you know, 1 foot or 6 inches of rock through here so we can have somewhere to hide all the cords for the lighting and the pumps. I still have to run the wires for it, and then it'll be flagstone patio all the way out. So it's very exciting things, guys. So now for the main event. So my dad hasn't seen the pond yet. I've just been out here working. He's been taking care of my mom. I want to get his reaction on what he thinks of the pond coming out. So what do you think of the finishing touches out here?
Oh, nice. I like the ledge work around the outside.
Yeah, impressed really myself. Because down there, didn't really see it. You come up on the deck and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Looks real nice.
You don't even see the filters or the skimmers no more. It's nice.
Yeah, I already talked about them. We can't foam them until the springtime unless we get a warm day that's dry. Then we can foam this year, but most likely springtime. So that is it. And now for the main event. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's awesome video. The pond is pretty much done. And for any pond completion, you got to do one thing. But remember, stay fishy, my friends, and we'll be back.
Oh, you guys are absolutely crazy. It is 48 degrees out here. It is 48 degrees. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do it.
2, 3.
Yeah, that's some cold water, guys.
How to do it?
Run inside. Run inside and jump in that pool because it's much warmer.
Jump in the monster pond.
Oh my God, these guys are crazy. Instant warmth, huh, Josh?
Oh my God.
I cannot believe you guys did that. Now, is that instantly warm?
This is great.
Alright guys, we'll see you next time, and as always,
Stay fishy, my friends.